Alright, what's up guys? In today's video, I'm talking about what is the best long-range rifle after the most recent C50 and Krig nerf. Both these guns were previously king. They have been nerfed, so in today's video we're going to compare those two weapons to the Kilo, Grau, the Farah, and I do like to always include the QBZ because it's a very high kill potential weapon. So you guys pretty much already know the class setups for all the guns. I will just leave them on the screen so I don't have to walk through all of them. Longest long barrel, obviously VLK Axial 60 mag, Field Agent or Commando with Agency, and the longest long barrel. Same class setup on every single gun, which is going to give us the overall mobility stats, range, and then obviously the time to kill. So we're going to take with those numbers. So if you guys learn anything new, the video does help you out, please make sure you guys do subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you guys do enjoy the content, please leave a like. Alright, so the first and easiest thing to take a look at is the overall recoil pattern. Like I said, the C58 was nerfed by about 10%. Both the C58 and the FAR, which you guys can see, are the ones that kicked incredibly high. They actually kicked off the screen. I just include this just so you can see kind of how the recoil patterns are to see which gun's the most accurate. You can see the difference from the FAR, which is the one on the right, to the C58 on the left, the third and fourth one. The FAR bullets are much tighter, while the C58 bullets have a higher spread. But due to that fire rate, I do think the C58 is still highly accurate. I do believe the FAR kicks pretty fast because it shoots faster. So in my opinion, both these guns are about equal in recoil. But due to the fire rates, for some reason the FAR, I don't like it as a long-range weapon because it shoots so fast. The C58, because it shoots slow, I do like it. So on the left, you guys can see the QBZ and the Krig. The one negative about the QBZ, for some reason, the recoil pattern looks tight, but at range, for some reason, I feel like it has a lot of side-to-side variance and extremely hard to hit my shots. I do always include it because it has excellent stat lines as far as time to kill and mobility, and this obviously has the least amount of recoil. The Krig is always going to be the most accurate weapon. It has no recoil. If you pull down this recoil pattern, it's cut in half, which will then have no recoil. So as far as recoil, easily Krig is number one. I would take the Kilo as the second most accurate. As you guys can see, it has half the recoil of the Krig. I would take the QBZ and Grau in my top four with the C58. And as far as recoil, I personally would rank the Farah as the least accurate weapon just because it shoots so fast and it kicks really high. They're all highly accurate weapons, which is really good for the long range. But the reason that Krig is still one of the highest ranked weapons is because its recoil pattern is incredible. So we're going to take a look next is their overall time to kill with the newly updated Krig and how the ranges are affected now. So on the screen, you guys will see the updated chart. Like I said, the C58 range got nerfed, and then the Krig TTK got nerfed as well. So I had them all color-coded. You guys will be able to see from basically each range category, which is kind of where the guns drop off. With the Krig getting nerfed, you guys can see the range now on the screen. The previous range was 56 meters, which was 2 patches ago. So this has been nerfed twice. So now it's between 49 to 50 meters, which is identical to the Kilo and the Grau. And the C58 was 36 before, is about 33 meters now, which is absolutely atrocious. So with the nerf of those weapons, you guys can see the overall time to kill is now on the screen. The Farah is, like I said, the reason it's always been one of the most popular weapons, and it's always been ranked as high. It's the fastest killing gun to 40 meters. Then you can see beyond 50 meters is still the fastest killing weapon. The QBZ is also ranked right there. From 0 to 45 meters is either second or the fastest killing gun, which makes it incredible. And then once again, beyond 50 meters is the second fastest killing gun again. So the FAR and QBZ will always be near the top for me and where I rank them, just because they kill really, really fast if you can hit your shots. The Kilo is right there. Does have the most range of these 6 weapons, third fastest killing gun. And like I said, as soon as the FAR and the QBZ drop off, it will be the fastest killing gun. The big negative about it, which I don't have included on here, I believe it's 85 or 87 meters where the Kilo drops off. It will go from 800 to over 1,000, which is one of the only guns in the game that has that, which is the big negative and the reason why people do stray away from it. But that's like 90 meters plus. So I still think the Kilo is incredible TTK wise. The Grau is the slowest. The C58 is the second slowest. You guys can see anywhere beyond 33 meters where the C58 now drops off. It's the slowest killing gun. It's incredibly slow when you compare it to the other guns. It kills 100 milliseconds slower than the GFUEL from 33 to 50 meters, which the GFUELs are the slowest killing guns. So the C58 for me dropped off really hard. The GFUEL was buffed a couple patches ago when they did the whole weapon thing to make it kill faster. So the most important stat to look at here, I'll just showcase the 50 meters plus only. We have the Krig at 828. That is the biggest change that happened. The Krig went from 736, which was third fastest, to 828, which is now the slowest. The M13, the M4, a lot of the other assault rifles, Ram 7s, will all kill faster. The Krig is now the slowest killing AR beyond that 50 meter mark, which is a huge negative in my opinion, because all these guns kill about the same within 5 to 10 milliseconds of it. But now that it's the slowest, it's now the worst gun. But the biggest factor when you go through and you take a look at all these timed kills, like I said, the FAR and the QBZ are incredibly fast. The most important factor, which in my opinion ranks the C58 and the Krig as one of the top killing weapons, is beyond their base time to kill, which for the C58 is anywhere beyond 32 meters. You only need one headshot to go from the 760 to the 650. And then with the Krig also, anywhere beyond 50 meters, you need one headshot to go from the 830 back down to the 736. And same with the GFUEL. It might be the two slowest killing weapons, but the Krig and the GFUEL both only need one headshot, which will drop them down to 740, which will make them extremely fast killing. So that's what makes them incredible. As far as the headshot chart you guys see on the screen, every single gun is ranked identical in their base time to kill. All require at least 2 headshots. The only gun that doesn't is the QBZ, which requires 3 and 4, which that's kind of going to drop the QBZ down significantly in my opinion, because headshot-wise, not effective at all. You can see once again the FAR and the Kilo are 2. The only guns that require 1 is the C58, the Krig, and the GFUEL, which in my opinion jumps them up and is going to help make them, because if you only hit one headshot, your time to kill drops massively with these guns, like 10% faster, which is 100% going to help them. So when you talk about overall TTK wise, I still think the FAR is king, will always be king. But like I said, with that C58, anywhere from 0 to infinity meters with one headshot will kill in 650 milliseconds, which beyond 50 meters will actually kill faster than the FAR. So TTK wise, the C58 is up there in the top 3 with the FAR and the QBZ. The other 3 guns, Krig, Kilo, GFUEL, are about equal. TTK wise, they're within 10 milliseconds, which are 20 milliseconds. So I have them ranked as the bottom 3. FAR, QBZ, 58 is the top 3 fastest killing weapons. So the reason the C58 is still one of the top ranked weapons is, like I said, because that TTK. Incredibly fast. All you need is one headshot and it'll be one of the fastest killing guns in the game, which is why it's still popular. So that's what makes it excellent. The one thing I did want to take a look at, which is going to help the Krig in my opinion, is the damage per mag. So a lot of these damages have been changed, nerfed, whatever. Every one of these guns runs a 60 round mag. For me, the C58 is only going to run a 45 round mag just because the damage is incredibly high. So you can see the damage up close to how much damage you do per mag, the damage at far, how much damage you do per mag. The Krig is always going to be number 1 or number 2 as far as damage per mag. So when you compare the Krig to the GFUEL and the Kilo, it does 300 more damage, which is 1 extra down of an enemy if they have full plates, which is a huge advantage for the Krig. And this is one of the factors that, in my opinion, helps the Krig to retain its title as one of the fastest killing guns. So it has a 1 headshot needed, lowering TTK, has the highest damage per mag. In my opinion, it's the most accurate weapon. It's really good when you factor a lot of these numbers in. It's incredibly credible. So we're going to take a look next is the final stats, which is going to be the movement, ADS, the velocity, all those other minor stats to see where these guns kind of rank in that overall mobility stats. All right, so what you guys will see now on the screen, we have the movement, the ADS, reload, range, velocity, and fire rate. So those are kind of all the numbers that I think matter. We do have basically how they are ranked. Red is bad. If it has a red paint over it, it's not that good. Yellow is average. Green is excellent. So overall mobility, you guys already know. C58, Krig, QBZ, excellent. FAR is one of the slower moving ARs. I think the slowest out of all the core ARs. Still average. The huge negative with that Kilo and that GFUEL being Modern Warfare guns, those mags, the ammo, the grips, they all tank the mobility. You can see the Kilo is at 84% compared to the Krig at 96. So 12% faster movement you will 100% notice. In the ADS speed category, with the QBZ being bugged right now, 60 round fast mag has no effect on ADS. It's the only gun that's good. FARA is a huge negative. The Krig is a huge negative. Everything else is right there in each other. Those are the two guns that are just the slowest. As far as reload, Modern Warfare guns, Kilo and Grau, excellent. QBZ, we do run a fast mag, so it's the fastest reloading gun. And once again, a big negative of the FARA. The reload is absolutely atrocious, which is a huge negative of it. Next category we have here is the current new and updated range. The C58 got nerfed. 33 meters is atrocious. You guys can see it is terrible compared to the 50 meters of the other three guns. FARA at 40 meters is average. And then you guys can see all the guns are between 46 and 50, which is excellent compared to all the other guns. Like you have the Ram 7s, the M4s. If you include a lot of those other guns in here, they're anywhere between like 36 and 45. So anything above 45 meters is excellent. With the C58, it did get the velocity nerfed. Previously was like 1200. Now at 1100 is actually the worst, but 1100 velocity is still okay. When you compare long range velocity, a lot of the LMGs like the PKM, I think the Brew and all these other guns don't have as good as 1100. So 1100 is still average. Obviously with that velocity, what helps the Grau, what helps the Kilo is they're at 1300, which is excellent. And the QBZ is once again in green. 1200 is the best velocity of all the Cold War ARs, which is what makes it excellent. Then we have the overall fire rate, which, like I said, the FAR is incredible. Kilo is actually the one at 750. I mistyped it, but you guys can see the Kilo at 750 is also one of the fastest shooting in the Grau. So compare Grau to Krig, which are pretty much the same gun now. You guys can see the fire is much faster with the Grau, which in my opinion is what's going to help it. And the overall fire of the C58 is terrible. So the reason I always include the QBZ is because these numbers. The fastest moving, fastest ADS, fastest reloading, has better velocity than every other Cold War AR, and has good range with an average fire rate, which is what makes it excellent. The gun really has no weaknesses, in my opinion, which makes the gun excellent. It's just really good ranked in all the categories. It's just not as good in the time to kill, because if you miss your chest shots, it's going to lower. So basically going to go through now and look at all of the numbers to kind of rank the positives and negatives of these guns to kind of see where they go. So when I go through and rank the current ARs, obviously you guys know Krig is still king. Will always be king. Number one, just due to the fact that it's the most accurate. Still has good range, has decent velocity, but recoil wise, this gun has none. It's going to be the most accurate gun. You're always going to be able to hit your shots. And like I said, with one headshot, it still retains that same time to kill, which was nerfed. And it has the same range as all the other guns. So it's always going to be number one. The difference now is when you go to compare who's number two. I think the C58 did drop. I would personally take the FARA as the second best long-range AR right now. First off, it's the fastest shooting gun. So if you miss your shots, it's still going to shoot much faster than the C58, which is going to help retain the time to kill. Then TTK-wise, it's the fastest killing gun anywhere from 0 to 40 and then beyond 50 meters. So it's only 10 meters where this won't be the fastest killing gun. Then headshot wise, it has the same headshot numbers as the Kilo, Grau, a lot of these other guns, which need 2 and 2, which all the other guns need. So it already kills faster than having the same headshot effect in the other guns. I do think this gun jumped up. I don't remember where I had it ranked previously before. I think it was 5th or 6th. But I do think it's number 2 now. As far as my number 3, I am going to go with the Grau. Most of you guys should know I am the number 1 Grau user. You guys can see I do have the Obsidian on here because I have 50,000 kills with the Grau. So I do think it's definitely going to be number 3. It's highly accurate. It has excellent velocity. And then with the fact that it needs one headshot to lower the time to kill, it's going to have the same time to kill as the Krig with almost as good an accuracy with a little bit better ADS speed. And the one big benefit of it, in my opinion, is it has iron sights, which this is the only gun you can use the iron sight on. So you basically can run a tac laser, which is going to improve your ADS, your aiming stability, your tracking. Or I personally like to run FMJ, which is going to help me shoot through walls. You know, they'll disable vehicles faster. There's a lot of different attachments. 99% of the time, tac laser is going to be best, which the stats I had was with the VLK. So if you're on the tac laser, You're going to get a faster ADS, you're going to get better player tracking at longer ranges, and improved aiming stability, which can help your recoil, which all these things are going to help you at the longer range, which in my opinion is going to make this gun, the class of my opinion, is better than a lot of the other guns with that tac laser on this. So this is why it's in the top 3. The next gun we do have, I still have the C58 in the top 4. It's just incredible. It has a good ADS. The 55 round mag is what majority of players run, but with the 45 round mag, you're going to get a faster ADS. It just kills fast. It's 650, which is average, and then at range is 650 with one headshot, which is 100 milliseconds faster than the Krig and the Grau, which in my opinion still what makes it excellent. With a slow fire, it's still an accurate weapon, even though it has a lot of vertical recoil. It's still in my top 4. Obviously, you guys know Kilo would be top 5. This gun's just, it's the Kilo. You guys know what it is. It's just mobility-wise, it's terrible. 84% movement. You're never going to move around. Yes, you're running around with an SMG, but compared to that 84 to like the 95% with the other guns, 10% difference in movement, in my opinion, is what tanks this gun. It's still incredible. Like I said, the movement is terrible, and then when you factor in that 87 meters plus, where it kills even slower, it's not going to help as much. You do have the QBZ as the worst of these 6 weapons. Like I said, I always have it ranked excellent, just because it has excellent mobility. It's bugged with the 60 round fast mag, so your reload, your ADS, all that stuff is excellent. It's got good range, it's got good recoil, but when you actually use it, it doesn't feel as accurate, and then it does require chest shots to retain that 707 in the TTK category. So if you don't get chest shots, it's at 800, which is going to drop it down there in the end. So I still think it's an excellent weapon. I really like using it. If you are playing Rebirth, this will be an excellent gun, because Rebirth is usually within 50 meters. But on regular Verdansk, like I said, Krig will be number 1. The FAR, in my opinion, has taken a rise back to the top. Mobility-wise, is terrible. If you wanted to fix it, you could obviously run a 45 round mag to improve your ADS and lower your reload, but those are what I think are the top 6 best long range weapons after the current update. So like I said, if you guys do enjoy, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Make sure you guys do the thumbs up if you guys did enjoy. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. I'll see you.